Alejandro Martinez, Antonio Brown, Paul Henry, Akira Murray, and Frank Hernandez. These are only a few of the 50 people killed in the Orlando mass shooting. At approximately 2 a.m. on June 12, 2016, a Fort Pierce, Florida man, Omar Mateen, age 29, stormed into the popular Pulse nightclub of Orlando, Florida. Armed with an AR-15 rifle and handgun, he proceeds to shoot the entire club, killing 50 people and wounding upwards of 53 others. Why would he do something like this, you ask? Because days prior, he saw two men kissing and was so appalled and disgusted by this, he had to do something about it. While there are multiple stories and multiple reportings on this mass shooting, what has become America's highest mass shooting with a death toll at 50 people. Reporters, everyone still seemed to be refusing to call this crime what it was. It wasn't a man who endorsed gun violence. It wasn't a confused young gentleman of mental illness with a gun. This was blatantly a hate crime. One reporter walked off of a Fox News set because while being interviewed, they would not use the word hate crime to describe what this was. Merriam-Webster defines a hate crime as any of various crimes motivated by the hostility to the victim of a group, whether it be color, creed, gender, or sexual orientation. So with the crime being the shooting and murders of 50 people, fueled by the hostility of the shooter, Omar Mateen, against the victims of a group of people who he considered to be LGBT within the Pulse nightclub, is this not a hate crime? What can we define this as? It's blatantly and clearly only seen as a hate crime. If it's as cut and dry as being a hate crime, why is Fox News and other media outlets not calling it what it is, a hate crime? Well, they feel that calling it a hate crime demonizes the person or makes them be seen as a bad person because they are targeting a said group of people. Does that make it any better? I don't think so. As a cisgendered homosexual male, I believe that everyone should have the right to safety, no matter who you love, how you live your life, or who you choose or was born to be. This is not okay in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Let me give you another example of a hate crime that was never meant to be called, or no one ever referred to as a hate crime. Just under a year ago, on June 17th, 2015, a 21-year-old white man named Dylan Ruth joined the prayer service of the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina. He then proceeded to shoot and kill 9 people, including the senior pastor of the church and state senator, and wounded 1 other. I explicitly remember watching the news as they read his manifesto from his online manifesto, where he blatantly stated how he wanted to start a race war and how he wished to extinguish people of color. The issue came into play when Fox News said that they were still deciding on whether or not to try his case as a hate crime. It was already proven the hostility he had towards people of color who were the victims, and he already perpetrated a crime, which was shooting that church. So by what definition was it not a hate crime? I myself am tired of people not trying to label something what it needs to be. A hate crime is a hate crime. There's no other way about it. So why do you not want to demonize someone who did something to hurt a group of people who had nothing to do with them? Is that not okay? Is that not okay to try someone for a murder case because it will demonize them or ruin their life. Is this the society we live in? Whether it was Dylan Ruth and the murders and injury he caused at the church, or Omar Mateen for the 50 people he killed and the 53 others that he wounded. Now to know that America's largest mass shooting with the highest death count was an LGBT hate crime. Is that something we can live with? Does that make us a good country? Does this make us good people? While they're holding several candlelight vigils and people are crying for the loss of others, is it okay that someone decided to shoot up a club, that everyone just wanted to have a good time? Was it okay that one boy texted his mother knowing he was about to die, and that his mother received all the text messages, and she knew when her son was killed? When is enough enough? When do we make America a better and safer place for everyone? Me, myself, will be praying for Orlando, because this is not the America I know and would like to live in. And while there are candlelight vigils and prayers and the cries of people who are missing those who died, there are still bigots and ignorance within all social media. People tweeting and posting Facebook statuses about how, 50 gay people died. Aren't we getting rid of the perverts on the world? Or, it's great that 50 gay people got killed. Good thing for finally getting rid of the people who need to go, the perverts and the pedophiles. This isn't okay. Deeming a group of people not worthy of living isn't okay. How would you feel if someone told you, just because of who you are, let's say your color, that you were less than and had the right to be killed on the spot? Well, let me tell you something. During slavery and segregation, that's exactly what happened. So, no matter who you are, who you love, who you identify as, just as important as everyone else. And no one has the right to take that away from you. And no one has the right to tell you that your life isn't worth something. Because everyone is a valuable person. Thank you for listening to what I had to say. And please, pray for Orlando. And pray for the families of those who are lost and injured. Because remember, that could be your brother, sister, friend, cousin, or even you.